All right, so we're gonna start working in Java in our Android Studio. You had everything installed last time. You got everything installed, hopefully. You have this kind of screen up here working where you can drive your robot around. And we wanna start to build some of this in our code here. That was not so good. But yeah, we want to start building this in actually Java in Android Studio. We want to transfer, if you happen to be able to get the other version of the simulator working, we want to transfer some of that knowledge we had there into this new environment. So we're going to recreate some of the tasks we did previously, in Android Studio, so we can try and get a little bit of transfer going here. Now, the very first thing you'll need to do, though, is to create a new file, because there's some things that are different in Android Studio, obviously, than in our coding, than in the simulation we were doing previously. First things first, you should already have this thing open. We were working on this on just the previous step. We need to right-click in here, and we're going to say New Java class, and we're going to call this whatever we want. We can call it like I'm going to call it Test Demo. It's a little demonstration that we're doing here. And we're going to get something up like this. Let's see. We're going to need to do a few things here. We need to say extends, and we need to say OP mode. Doing a little bit of inheritance for anybody who took CS1. If we did inheritance. But anyways, we're doing that. We'll have to have a few things in here. We need to have init. We're going to have a few methods. If you don't know what a method is, basically it's just like a task that can get run. It's like a function. It's something that we can call. And specifically in this case, it's something that the robot is going to expect is there. So we're going to say public void init. And we're also going to say public void, we need to have loop. And so again, I might reference some things from CS1. If you didn't take CS1, that's okay. But for those of you who did, this is like the while loop in our Java draw stuff. The thing that's constantly running. And this is the stuff that's happening kind of what's happening first. Whenever our robot gets started, what do we need to have set up? We've seen this already when we were doing, well, really any of these practice modes, any of these other versions, right? We did this. We selected an OP mode. We're now building a new one in here. We say init, and then we say start. So init is going to run, when you click that init button, it's going to run this method and do whatever is in there. There might be some setup work that we need to have in there. Once we hit start, it's going to run this loop about 50 times a second. So whatever's in here is going to constantly be getting run. Again, we see that in our simulation. You also see that in your actual phone. Like I have a phone connected here, somewhere right there. And on the phone, when we connect to our robot, the very first thing we do is hit init. We hit our init button. And then we get our play. So again, that init button is running the stuff inside of this code right here. When we hit play, we're going to start running the stuff inside of this loop. So there's a lot of these things are all connected together. They all are kind of working. They're all kind of doing the same thing. So I think for now, that's enough. That's like the one thing we need to do in order to get our robot started. And then as we go into the next ones, I'll kind of walk you through how to add some telemetry in here and all sorts of other stuff. So I'm going to mimic, again, what we did in some of these previous ones, but let's do that in just a second.